Hey, I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks for joining us here at NAB 2014, Las Vegas, Nevada, the Las Vegas Convention Center. This is the Teradek booth, the Teradek show. We're doing great, we're having so much fun. We just had the digital Bolex guys in here. By the way, if you order the camera now, it ships in 8 to 12 weeks. They start at $32.99. So there you go, digitalbolex.com. I'm very excited about the man who is joining me right now. He has created one of the coolest apps, and I am using it all the time. His name is Neil Brahm, and the app is Filmic Pro. If you don't have it, take your iPhone or iPad out right now and buy it. Don't even think about it. I'm not even going to give you a minute because you're going to do it while I keep talking. Take out your iPhone, your iPad, and buy this app now. It's like what, $4.99?
$4.99.
$4.99. Here's my iPhone. How cool is that? I've got a Nikon F2 picture on a case, and I'll show them a little Filmic Pro. Neil, how did you come up with this app? What made you think of it, and how'd you come up with it?
Pretty much the 720p HD footage that was first available with the iPhone 4. So it was such a quantum leap from the 3GS, and if you used it within the limitations of the device, which is pretty much keeping it steady and stable, not panning it too much because of the scan rate, you got stuff that was pretty much broadcast quality. So at that point, the initial thought was maybe a B or C camera device, but the more we tested it out, the more we realized that there would be a lot of people using it as their primary camera. So it's ended up working out fantastically well because people who have high-end gear use it as an ancillary device, and people who want to get rid of their high-end gear use it as their primary camera.
So I'm using it as my primary camera this week with my iPad Air. We're doing all sorts of cool stuff with it, and I'm using it with my iPhone as my primary camera. The stuff we shot that we show on the Movi with the iPhone Movi rig the other night was shot using Filmic Pro. I've done all sorts of cool stuff with it. I love it. It is and can be not only broadcast quality, but like film quality, cinematic quality. It's phenomenal.
Right.
Steve from Zacuto was on the set before maybe an hour ago, and he was talking about the shootout where it really doesn't matter what camera you use. They're all so good at this point. It's really how you shoot and light it, and that's what I think it is. You have to start treating these devices instead of like your phone as a camera and support them and light them and give them great audio. But you do need great apps like you have. It allows us to control the aperture, or not the aperture, but the exposure
yeah,
and the focus. It's just phenomenal. I'm so excited about it. You were recently featured kind of in this new Apple commercial.
Yeah, the iPad Air commercial, Your Verse, I guess. It's got Robin Williams and the Dead Poet Society bit. It's actually a fantastic spot. Creative, shows all the different ways that people are using the iPad as a creative tool. And interestingly enough, I knew that we were used with the Padcaster and the Agazu Falls vignette, but it turns out that the people in Bollywood who did the vignette used Filmic Pro in addition to the Slow Pro and the Artemis apps as well. Wow. So we're the only app that was used twice in that commercial, and really proud of that.
That's really awesome, and I know that Padcaster, Josh with Padcaster was on here yesterday and was talking about how much he likes the app.
Right.
It really is, there are so many good apps out there, but it is really the main video app I use. It's my starting point, it's my basis. Mm-hmm. So I'll shoot great video in it, and you can change your frame rate. On the iPhone 5S, I can shoot true 120 frames a second for great slow-mo. And then I'll shoot it there, and then I will usually bring it into an app called Videolicious, cut it, and then I'll touch cast it so that I can make it more engaging and more interactive, and it's really exciting. You've added so many features. There's so many features I didn't even know were in there. What's your favorite feature?
Well, I mean, I shoot just about everything at 24. 25's in there for the European or ROW market, 30's in there for the 29.97 US broadcast channel. I like all of the variable frame rates, the motion effects, both fast and slow motion. I don't think that I have a specific favorite. I mean, I like the full range of creative, expressive potential that's in there.
I've got a new one. Stealth mode.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so it's not even labeled as stealth mode. I think it's a little bit more of a business nomenclature, but yeah, it does exactly that. And there are all sorts of great advantages for when you might want to use it.
When you might not want somebody to know you're recording, and look, if you're shooting like this and they see your screen, they're going to know you're recording, but if you turn the screen off so it looks like that, they're not going to know you're recording, and that's stealth mode. So I think you should rename it the stealth mode.
Yeah, quite possibly. Though there are instances where you wouldn't be shooting stealthily, but you wouldn't want the display to affect the, say, lighting conditions of a very low light scene. So
you can still call it stealth mode.
Yeah, you could call it. All right, I'm going to take your branding recommendation there. So look for it, stealth mode in version 4.0.
And so when is the next version coming out?
Should be out about the end of the month.
When you started, did you know all of the stuff that you know now? I mean, you're talking circles around me sometimes, and a lot of it I know, but you know, and I know most of it, but did you know most of it or all of it, or are you learning on the fly too?
Oh, I think learning on the fly, both technically, which, I mean, what is possible then is different than what's possible now, is different than what's going to be possible with iOS 8 and whatever's, you know, goodies are bundled into the iPhone 6. But also in the way the marketplace moves always continues to surprise me. Like I thought long range, there was an opportunity for it to become a broadcast tool, but it's matured into a broadcast device much quicker than I thought it would. I mean, you, Be Terrific, have done great stuff and shown how it can be a seamless top-end production tool. European news organizations are flocking to it much quicker than their US counterparts. Primarily because of the price point. You can outfit so many members of your staff with a mobile journalism kit for a fraction of the price of a traditional ENG camera.
I think we have some video that we can show that I've shot. We're not going to necessarily roll the audio, but I think we can show some video that I've shot with Filmic Pro, and we'll do that in a few minutes here.
Okay.
But, the thing is that it's just so stunning. We've done everything from product shots, and I want to push the limits, and I want to test it, and I want to see what it's capable of and not. And it really, the only thing it can't really do at the moment is shallow depth of field, but everything else, it seems to be able to do excellently. You can monitor your audio. Soon maybe we can, I don't know, maybe in the future we'll be able to change our audio levels, but right now you can at least monitor your audio and hear it and see the levels.
Right.
You can do all sorts of stuff. You can even zoom in, and the zoom's not bad. My buddy
surprisingly good.
My buddy Darryl Reed took us out to hang out with Michael Jordan the other night, Nelly and Dwight Freeney. We're hanging out with them in this very private, exclusive party, and Nelly starts performing, and I shoot Nelly performing, and I zoom in and get this great shot. There's my boy D. Reed pressing up against the fishbowl here at NAB 2014. He's here doing some stuff with Marshall, MXL Marshall. We had Perry on yesterday. And so, D. Reed's in the house. He does a lot of Be Terrific stuff, Super Bowl champion. And here he is, he's got us into this party, and he's using Filmic Pro, by the way.
Right.
And he's, we're zooming in, and I was always against using the zoom because it's a digital zoom, but it works.
Zoom. Well, I mean, if you're starting at 1080 and you go into 720, you've got 2.5 levels of magnification and you still have an HD image. So, and a lot of this stuff, the majority of it, ends up on the web. So 720 is going to be perfectly fine for that.
For that, so, certainly, yeah. And I've shown this stuff on huge screens at Adorama when I'm doing seminars, because I'm doing iFilmmaking seminars now, ifilmmaking.com, and you can see an 80-inch screen that looks phenomenal. We've got some footage to roll. This will be an event I did with Tiki Barber, his book signing.
Oh, right on.
And you can see Tiki Barber right there. And so this is just quick turnaround stuff, video journalism, and I did 3 pieces here at this event that when I got home I turned around in 2 hours. So you can see some of this footage and how nice it looks. Look at that, there's the zoom.
Right.
And look at that. I mean,
that's outrageous.
Yeah, and would you ever know that that's not a ENG camera or a DSLR or anything like that? Maybe because you don't see the shallow depth of field, it's not a DSLR, but you can do some things to trick it, and you can put some of these little Olo clips on and stuff like that.
Tilt Shift Video is a great app if you want to bring it in. It has a lot of control where you can blur out aspects of the image.
What's it called?
Tilt Shift Video.
Oh yes, sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the great thing about the app ecosystem is there are tons of products. They all have an interesting slant or advantage, and it's at a price point where you can add them to your toolkit for $2, $5.
I know, it's amazing.
And if our app doesn't do it, somebody else's will. If their app doesn't do it, ours will. And there you go.
Go buy Filmic Pro right now. I love this app. It's a great app. That's Neil Brom. Neil, will you stay with us? We have another guest coming on, but I want you to stay for this guest because I think you're going to like what they have, and maybe you have some good input.
Sure.
Filmic
I'll just
Pro,
slide
he's the man
down,
who
make
created
some room.
Real quick, how long did it take you to create it?
The first version was a teeth-pulling experience. We started in September of 2010 and launched it May 15, 2011.
Whew.
Yeah. So 7.5 months.
Thanks so much for joining us. That's Neil from Filmic Pro, and what a great guy. And not only that, he's developed this amazing app, so go download it now. We're going to bring on our next guest in just a moment, so stay with us. We'll be back right after this.